up on Focal Point, it just got easier to vote on campus.
We wanted to be mobile and get around campus and be accessible for all of the students.
One MSU graduate student is giving other students an opportunity to make some extra cash. I'll have more on Friday on Focal Point.
The fall season is finally here, and so are the fun activities. Find out about one local fall-themed event this Friday on Focal Point.
After being legal for nearly 3 years now, the recreational marijuana business is booming here in Michigan. Find out how East Lansing dispensaries are doing coming up on Focal Point.
And how good could it really be? Hundreds are lining up in downtown East Lansing for Michigan's first Raising Cane's chicken spot. We'll take you there live. Focal Point starts now. Hello and welcome to Focal Point. I'm Erin Bowling.
And I'm Marvin Pride. Today is Friday, October 21st, 18 days until Election Day.
You know, Marvin, a lot can happen in 18 days, but we've got the coverage for students. MSU students have always had trouble getting out to vote.
But this year, the city of East Lansing has made it a lot easier.
Focal Point's Joe Hicks is live at one of 4 new voting locations on campus. Joe, I've had a hard time finding where to vote in the past. How is it going to be easier this year?
Yes, Erin, voting can be confusing, but thanks to East Lansing City Clerk and staff, it indeed will be easier.
Election Day is 18 days away, and the East Lansing City Clerk wants to make sure it's easy.
We knew we had to do something to go to the voters and have another option so we could really dilute that foot traffic.
East Lansing City Clerk Jennifer Schuster thinks this is the way. Places to not only vote on the MSU campus, but a place where you can even register.
It really is a one-stop shop for voters. They can come in, they can register to vote, they can change their address, they can even obtain their absentee ballot.
Schuster calls them rotating satellite locations, one at each side of campus.
But we wanted to be mobile and get around campus and be accessible for all of the students.
The city clerk's office has taken a number of steps to ensure that anybody who would like to vote can do so conveniently, even if they're not a student from Michigan.
If you are an out-of-state student, by all means, you are more than welcome to register here as well. All that is required is either that student ID I mentioned or a current out-of-state driver's license.
In the past, students would miss the vote because they'd have to fly home, register, and come back. But thanks to ideas like these, students can do it all in one stop.
Ballots have to be in to us by 8 o'clock on Election Day. Please don't wait that long.
Students can vote here inside the library, at the Student Service Building, and the city clerk says they'll be at the IM East building this Wednesday through Friday. Marvin and Erin, back to you.
Thanks, Joe. Students can stop by those locations before Election Day and on Election Day. If you can't make it to City Hall, you can stop by Brody Hall and vote at their pop-up station.
Hundreds of thousands of absentee ballots have been mailed to Michigan clerks, but those waiting until Election Day, the race between Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Republican challenger Tudor Dixon is still on. A debate hosted by Wood TV in Grand Rapids, the candidates touched on issues like Proposal 3, which decides the future of abortion in Michigan. Other topics included infrastructure, education, and economics. Throughout the night, both Whitmer and Dixon questioned each other's credibility.
And I will always welcome honest dialogue. I think what you heard from my opponent tonight is divisive rhetoric to pit us against each other for her own political gain. I don't have time for that.
This governor's policies are radical, dangerous, and destructive. Crime is up, jobs are down, schools are worse, and the roads didn't get fixed. That's what happens when you hire a radical career politician.
Whitmer and Dixon take place in one more debate this Tuesday. It will be televised from Oakland University and streamed online.
On November 8th, Michiganders will be taking into their own hands. This election is deciding the future of legal access to abortion in Michigan. Proposal 3, or Reproductive Freedom for All, would write new reproductive rights into Michigan's Constitution. Voting yes means that the rights could be added, overturning Michigan's 1931 abortion ban and other regulations. Voting no would leave abortion access up to officials and judges in each township. Right now, the state's 91-year-old abortion ban is suspended.
It's not just about women standing up fighting for this. Men have to stand up and fight for this. Transgender people have to stand up and fight for this. You know, every community needs to stand up and fight for this because this is a human right. This is a human right. It's not being a woman. This is a human right.
Opposing sides argue Prop 3 would weaken abortion regulation. Make sure to tune into Focal Point's election night coverage. On November 8th, we'll have more on Prop 3 and other ballot initiatives.
Can't find a ride? No problem. A nonprofit organization is here to help. Giving back to the community is something nonprofits love to do. Nonprofit organizations such as Davies Project guarantees all seriously ill and pregnant women get to their medical appointments safely and on time. By providing free and reliable transportation thanks to many volunteers in the Lansing community, staying true to their tagline, more than just a ride, the Davies Project provides books, snacks, and other essential needs to families so they feel supported and they receive the help they need.
Our drivers help break through the isolation families experience when they're going through such a tough time with a seriously ill child. We make sure that the drivers become companions. They become a link to the community and a very important resource for our families.
Thank you so much.
Volunteers are always appreciated. If you are looking to become a volunteer driver for the Davies Project, visit thedaviesproject.org.
A professor at the MSU Bott College of Nursing is bringing light into the lives of cancer survivors. Focal Point's Chloe Porfirio learned about this study firsthand from the researchers.
I think circadian rhythm is related to everything.
Circadian rhythm, the physical, mental, and emotional response to the 24 hours we experience in a day.
We're all human beings and we have complex emotions.
Dr. Hongxin Wu began her research back in 2017.
And we download all the data already.
She's been fighting to help breast cancer survivors with their recovery, and it's all based off circadian rhythm.
This is how they describe to me. Once my hair grows back, my family, my friends expect me to return to normal.
But what Dr. Wu found was that most breast cancer survivors continue to experience extreme fatigue years after recovering.
Some of them feel they have a guilt about surviving.
So this is our light meter device that we are using for this study.
As an alternative to something like a light box, Dr. Wu has her participants wear a visor for 30 minutes a day, like this one. The hope is that with consistent light exposure, fatigue, depression, sleep, and overall quality of life is improved.
It has helped them sleep better. It's helped kind of their mood as well. It's improved their fatigue.
Ariane Pantano, a PhD student at MSU, has worked on this study for 3 years. She says once participants have used the light in a routine, they study the quality of their sleep at the Comprehensive Sleep Center in Lansing.
I think it's really important that we're studying cancer survivors because it kind of addresses that need to talk about that catch-up.
Dr. Wu and Ariane both say the journey of a cancer patient doesn't end when the cancer is gone. That's their motivation to bring light into a survivor's life. In East Lansing, I'm Chloe Porfirio, Focal Point News.
Dr. Wu is waiting to hear back about a grant that will allow them to study the treatment of cancer survivors post-chemo and during their treatment as well.
Homecoming was last week, and did you catch any of the fun that happened?
You know what, Marvin? I went to the homecoming parade and the floats were insanely cool. We've got some of the highlights coming up next.
What came first, the chicken or the line? I'm Alex Hill, live in downtown East Lansing, and coming up, I'll have the story on Focal Point.
Do you know how to absentee vote in Michigan?
No, I do not.
No, I don't. I do not.
Yeah.
As a college student, you have the option to either register at your home address back home or at your address where you reside for school. If you choose to vote absentee for this election, you have options depending on where you're registered to vote. You just have to make sure it is returned to your local clerk, your city or township clerk, by 8 p.m. on election night, and also prepare for that. So making a plan to decide where you're going to be registered and if you're going to vote absentee or in person on election day.
Welcome back to Focal Point. Homecoming is always a huge celebration on campus.
Alumni and students come together to celebrate what it truly means to be a Spartan. The theme for this year's homecoming parade was Spartans Bring the Magic. The floats were grand and stayed true to theme by bringing passion and energy to campus. Spartans young and old could feel the excitement in the air. The parade was over a mile long and lasted about 2 hours.
You know, they're cheering us on, and it's really invigorating, and it's really high energy, and I'm excited the entire time. It's hard to get tired when you're doing it, you know?
That was freshman marching band member Mason Myatt. Myatt said he trusts his fellow band members with his life, and that being in the Spartan community is a special experience.
Although homecoming weekend had cooler temperatures, this week may look a little bit different. Behind us is a really nice shot of East Lansing where you can see sunshine. Daniel Zinyan joins us now with the latest forecast. Daniel, do I have to crack out the shirts yet?
Marvin, we are definitely getting some warmer weather this week. Definitely break out the shorts. The calendar may say it's the end of October, but this weekend try telling that to Mother Nature. Temperatures around the country, up here in the Midwest, 70 and 73, pretty nice, but take a look further south, 79 degrees in Miami, 85 in Oklahoma City, and all the way in Phoenix, if I could just lean out of the way here, 89 degrees, 90 in Dallas. But that's the whole country. Let's take a closer look at our own little corner of the world. Take a look at the Midwest here. We're going to have highs of 64 in Michigan, as it says. Indianapolis and Chicago, a bit warmer. Green Bay is also looking pretty nice. Down in Kansas City, 82 degrees. Again, feels like summer. In fact, we're going to feel these conditions starting today. Here's today's temperatures, high of 67 degrees with very little chance of rain and also some nice cloud cover and sunshine. It's going to be beautiful. And if you were excited about fall break, wait till you see this weekend's highs and lows. 75 degrees on Sunday and only going as low as 52. Perfect weather. Of course, later in the week, later next week that is, we'll be back to our regularly scheduled autumn weather. But for now, have a happy and healthy and very warm fall break. Marvin, Aaron, back to you guys.
Thanks, Danny. I can't wait to take a road trip in this beautiful weather.
Definitely. And Marvin, you know, being a college student is not cheap. That's why one MSU student started a company to help students earn extra cash. Focal Point's Elena Kuzno tells you how to get involved.
Everybody has their own story.
My doctor said, you have to stop selling plasma so much because, you know, I was going to the plasma clinic so often that I had shingles when I was 22.
Adam Green knew he had to find another way to make ends meet.
So I had this aha moment that we couldn't do that anymore. We have to try to find something else to do.
Last year, he picked up odd jobs like gardening and walking dogs. Adam couldn't believe what he unleashed. Other students wanted to help. He decided to start a company called Uniservices.
I mean, there's tons of things students can do. As we found over the past year of doing this, people will hire students for basically anything.
And as the company grows, so does its presence. They now have an app where students can find odd jobs posted by those in the community. And they also have partnered with a local company called Tinker Lab, where students will get hands-on experience in their field.
That's kind of Tinker Lab in general. Everything is hands-on and it's all student-led.
The newest job students can find on the app is actually for kids. Starting October 24th, students with Uniservices will be teaching classes for kids at Tinker Lab 2.0. Green says he never thought he'd have a company. After all, he's an MSU graduate student, studying to become a lawyer.
But I found a good balance between running the company and studying for school because I'm passionate about it. It's worth it. Students need the help and people in the community need the help too.
And in the meantime, Adam says he is focused on improving Uniservices and graduating law school. In East Lansing, Elena Kuzno, Focal Point News.
Available on the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. And Green says the app now has a first-come, first-served feature.
The restaurant Bobcat Bonnie's is moving into the former Lansing train station. The Gillespie Group announced earlier this month that the lease was officially signed, and they are more than excited to bring energy and creativity. Bobcat Bonnie's will begin to bring traffic to the stadium district. Cat Bodies is known for its unique spin on American food and fun atmosphere. This will be the restaurant's 8th location.
Deeper discussions probably I would say in the last 12 months with multiple users, but Bobcat Bonnie's acted on it quickly and was really excited to come to this space, and we were super excited to see their vision align with ours. And
Bobcat Piney plans to open in the spring of 2023.
The Sandbox Gallery has a small sample of work developed by faculty and students in the Gel Lab. They created video games for MSU students to use. The exhibit features TV screens, video controllers, and a variety of games to play. It's a great place to come and enjoy with friends. This was done to advance knowledge about the social and individual effects of digital games. Visitors can explore the effects that video games have on our society, as well as relate video games and entertainment to their daily lives. This exhibit will end on December 31st.
Just kind of a way for students to think more critically or academically about the impact of video games while also supporting, Spartan's creations and providing a little way for them to have fun as well.
The MSU Museum invites students to visit their newest exhibit called 1.5 Celsius. It showcases climate change and its effects on the planet.
If you're a student that experienced homelessness or otherwise independent, there is a support group on campus for you. The MSU Fame program now offers group coaching sessions. Some students may feel uncomfortable meeting one-on-one, but the group sessions give students a sense of confidence. It's an opportunity to connect with others that have dealt with similar situations.
Goal is to help those students to have a resource, so a community to be able to have coaching services, mentoring, and just people to lean back on, like some students may have within families that a lot of our students don't have. So really just helping these students get to graduation.
Additional resources are still in the works for Fame. More information can be found on their Instagram page at MSU_Fame.
Michigan's recreational cannabis industry is near its 3rd year of legalized sales. As companies expand, the market has become increasingly competitive. Companies in East Lansing are not an exception. Focal Point's Anna Mizarowski has more.
Business is busy as usual.
Start to finish, we open at 9, we close at 9, but it seems like the vibes are always good.
Inside Pinkana, a marijuana dispensary, Dave Robinson has seen the business grow.
Things we've all started, mostly everybody here has kind of started from the beginning. So we kind of built this from the ground up, and we see the success and we see the growth. It's kind of awesome to be a part of that.
It's been 3 years since Michigan voted to make recreational marijuana legal. Since then, 555 businesses have opened, 28 of them in Lansing alone. So how does Pinkana do so well?
If we don't make the relationship, then it doesn't really matter if we make the sales. So I think
with competition on the rise in the industry, Director of Retail Maria Wadenstorer hasn't noticed their sales being affected.
I think we're always aware, because you have to be competitive, absolutely. I think what we've done is we're really very focused on understanding what is, what the customer wants, what's trending, and making sure we're really very comparable.
But what makes Pinkana so competitive in the market?
And offering an experience that when you come in, you want to be here. It's fun, and there's music, and anybody you're looking for, you're going to find here, so that whatever your journey may be, it's your first time in a dispensary, that you feel like you belong here.
One of the only areas in the region that has not seen an increase in competition is here in Meridian. Construction has temporarily stopped for the dispensary behind me, and the reason for this could have been because of a confusing ballot proposal 3 months ago.
But ultimately it did not pass, so there was no definitive answer to ban it. None of the medical licensees have chosen to move forward in the past 3 years. They have to hold a public.
Community Planning and Development Director Tim Schmidt is in the early stages of creating a new ordinance for recreational marijuana.
Moving forward, we will put an ordinance together and put it in front of both the Planning Commission and the Township Board over the course of the next several months. But we are at the very beginning of the process right now.
There is no certainty on how quickly this process will be.
Do I think we'll see any in 2023? And I don't know. You know, part of that's going to depend on the industry and where they're at in terms of moving forward. There's a lot of change in the industry right now.
In East Lansing, Anna Mizrowski, Focal Point News.
For more information on the cannabis industry in Meridian Township, visit www.meridian.mi.us. It's the midway point of the semester, but some students on campus are worried about housing for next year. The MSU Housing Office has an answer to that. The MSU Housing Assignment Office has released a housing interest form for all qualifying students. This form is given to students who are currently living on campus, and the main purpose is to gauge interest. Students can get on-campus apartments like 1855 Place in single dorm rooms. The form will be based on random selection regarding class status. Students are now available to access the form, and it will remain open until November 2nd. Students like Derek Calderia say it's super competitive to get housing at all.
It's a very good thing, but I do feel it's competitive given like this campus is so big and everything like that. But it is like, I don't know, it's very helpful.
Students with a submitted form and approval will get a 24-hour selection slot. Email decisions regarding acceptance will roll out on November 4th.
Ever heard of a zine? It's an informal magazine that has been used as a tool for those in the LGBTQ+ community to share their voice. One MSU senior is making her mark by bringing a zine to campus. It's called the Lesbian Pages. After studying abroad and learning about the zine's historic connection to the queer community, senior Madeline Pilot made her own with no expertise in graphic design. Pilot is writing stories and pasting pictures on topics like sexual education, music, and being a lesbian on campus, and more. To find a copy on campus, visit the Gender and Sexuality Campus Center in the Student Services Building.
I'm trying to get like an actual like community kind of together, like here at Michigan State, and it's only took me 4 years, I guess, to finally do something like this. But I'm hoping in the future to start doing like events as well.
Interested in getting a digital copy or having your own page, sign up to the email list by clicking their link in the Instagram bio, Lesbian Pages.
Students waited months for the grand opening of Michigan's first Raising Cane's in Michigan.
Focal Point's Alex Hill is live there now in downtown East Lansing. Alex, how good can the chicken really be?
Thanks, Marvin and Aaron. After the grand opening of Michigan's first Raising Cane's location on Tuesday, the line stretched around this block. More than 250 people waited in line to wait for the doors to open and get their first purchase of chicken. I'm going to head right on inside and talk to our regional leader, Jennifer Chef. Oh my gosh, I can just smell the chicken in here frying. Can you tell me a little bit about your guys' first Michigan location?
It has been absolutely incredible. Our first Michigan location is right across from the Student Union for Michigan State University. Green and white is in our blood, and we couldn't be more excited to be here.
What is it like being a part of the Cane's family?
It has been amazing. My journey with Cane's, I'm a Michigander at heart, but my journey with Raising Cane's has been nothing short of incredible.
Perfect. So can you just tell me, is this just chicken? This is just chicken, right?
Oh my gosh, we have one love, and that is serving craveable chicken finger meals, fast, friendly, and the crew gets to have a lot of fun. So it is absolutely what we do. It's all we do, and we do it better than anybody else.
I love to hear that. So there were about 10 people that waited overnight in about 30-degree weather just to be the first ones to purchase some chicken. What do you think about that? Like, is there any? What do you think?
It's exciting, and it's exceeded expectation. First gentleman showed up at 3:45, over 400 people in line. Like, our heart is in MSU and all things Lansing, and Michigan has been incredible as well to receive Raising Cane's.
I love to hear that. Well, thank you so much, Jennifer. I really appreciate you talking with me. This chicken smells fantastic. The smells are just incredible. There's people busy all around chatting. I know for a fact I'm getting some Raising Cane's right after this show. Live in downtown East Lansing, I'm Alex Hill. Back to you guys in the studio.
Alex, although I think I may want to wait until the crowds die down before I head over there.
Yeah, the line's like a little too long for me, but you know, I'll find probably somewhere else to go for lunch. But coming up on Focal Point, we'll take a look at the football team win over Wisconsin and how women's soccer could clinch a conference title.
And we take a look at how hand-carved pumpkins are the main attraction in Ingham County. We'll be right back.
How can I be safe for Halloween?
Make sure that you're always with your family or your siblings if you're out trick-or-treating, and if you do happen to get lost, you can find a trusted adult who can help you find your parents. Make sure that you're staying on the sidewalk and away from the cars in the street. Do encourage you to stay with a group, so know who you're going to be going out with before you leave, and then know how many people you left with, come back with that same amount of people. Make sure your phone is charged before you go out so that you're always able to get in contact with your friends or if you ever need anything. Our big thing here at the police department, we always say if you see something, then say something. So if you see something suspicious or something that just might not look right, but you're not completely sure, don't be afraid to reach out to us, and we can provide help in those situations. We're a 24-hour police agency, so we're here on campus all the time, and we're always available to help.
Welcome back to Focal Point. I'm Destiny Shelley with this week's sports update. The football team found its footing once again with the win over Wisconsin. Let's recap MSU's overtime win. The Spartans rushed into the field ready to break their 4-game losing streak. It was a back-and-forth game, but the 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Wisconsin quarterback Graham Mertz threw a 3-yard touchdown pass to Keontez Lewis to tie the game. In overtime, Keon Coleman went up to grab a 25-yard pass from Jaden Reed in a trick play. Wisconsin responded with a 25-yard touchdown pass from Mertz to Kismare DK to put the game into double overtime. MSU recovered a Wisconsin fumble, and Peyton Thorne threw a 27-yard touchdown pass to Reed to win the game 34-28. A much-needed victory for MSU.
We play complementary football more often tonight, and we executed, more often tonight, and so we got the results that we wanted. So just really proud of our guys and everyone in our organization for sticking together and pushing through the adversity.
The Spartans have a bye week this Saturday, but return to action to play rival Michigan at the Big House. And what a great way to kick off Halloween weekend with a 7:30 p.m. game on October 29th. Over to the turf. The men's and women's soccer team both end the season as conference champions. The women's team secured the Big Ten title last night against Ohio State, while the men's prepare for a head-to-head matchup against first-place Maryland. Head coaches Jeff Hosler and Damon Rensing previewed the weekend.
I think we can compete with anybody. I think we can beat anybody on any given day if we give it our best. And I think that message resonates with them. We've been able to go out and do it. Confidence comes from recognizing your past experiences and the success you've had within them. And I think that's what this group will do.
This is a resilient group. I think we're starting to find our stride. We've been tested a lot, and I think those tests, whether we've been successful or not in them, has built this group tougher and stronger, and we've been up through a lot together. So I think we're prepared as we can be for these last 3 games.
Jeff Hosler led the women's side to the first conference title in program history in just his 2nd year in charge. The men's team could go top of the table against Maryland tonight at 7. The volleyball team is set for a busy weekend after losing 4 straight games to ranked opponents. Head coach Leah Johnson remains confident moving forward.
I think Indiana's playing well, and they run a different style. We haven't seen such an offensive setter, but knowing that we have a lot of confidence right now to manage the scramble plays, to manage different positions. We had 2 people switch positions today, and we ran 2 setters, even though we stayed in a 5-1. We just have options that they've been working hard competitively against each other to develop that depth, and that's paying off for us.
The Spartans play number 5 Wisconsin in Madison tonight and will return to East Lansing for a 2 p.m. Sunday match against Indiana. To wrap up the weekend, the men's hockey team hosts Long Island University. Puck drop is tonight at 7 and Saturday is set for 6 p.m. That's what's happening in sports this week. Back to you guys in the studio.
Fall is in full swing, and if you're anything like me, you cannot wait to start all the fun activities. At an event at the Ingham County Fairgrounds might just be the perfect way to prepare for Halloween.
Caitlin Holtfloor shows how thousands of pumpkins light up the night with this week's Focal Point Friday finale.
A night to unleash.
Just overall a fun night to hang out with your friends, get some cool pictures, and just carve out lasting memories.
But memories aren't the only thing being carved, but literally thousands of these.
Setup takes 3 weeks, but we plan for this all year.
Ingham County Fairground Director Lindsay McKeever is talking about the family-friendly event in Mason called Jack-O-Lanterns Unleashed. Family-friendly for every member of the family, with delicious food, fun games,
Go! Good job!
and plenty of sights to see.
Jack-O-Lanterns Unleashed will be happening every Thursday through Saturday until Halloween, so you still have a chance to see these 5,000 hand-carved pumpkins yourself.
It gives me Halloween Town, so I love that.
Temporary residents. They're like pieces of art that take hours to carve. It's hard not to have a favorite here. For Lily and Marion, it's
the under the sea theme in the bar over there.
in Mason, Caitlin Holtfloor, Focal Point News.
Tickets for Jack-O-Lantern Unleashed can be purchased online or at the door, and proceeds go to the Ingham County Fair. That's all we have for this edition of Focal Point. For all of us here in the studio, I'm Marvin Pride.
And I'm Erin Bowling. We're kicking off fall break with the sounds of the MSU Marching Band. Have a great weekend.